You're listening to hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me, your naturally platinum blonde pop culture connoisseur. I'm the reality TV junkie, self-improvement addict, and host with only the hottest tea spilled fresh all week long.
You're one of my favorite interviewers.
They picked us because we're horny.
Yeah,
right.
And that's your chronic state.
24/7.
Zack, that is really funny.
From the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered convos with your favorite stars, I've got you covered. And yes, I always keep receipts. All right, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. So, as you saw, the internet was on fire over the weekend because we saw Erika Jayne come face-to-face with former Girardi Keese clients, and I had a front row show to the whole show, essentially. And I felt like I have so many thoughts and feelings and opinions that I had to bring on some other people that also have lots of thoughts and feelings and opinions. So please welcome to the podcast today. First up, he got the exclusive published on page 6. Please welcome my boy, King Evan Real.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. I feel like, yeah, like you said, so many thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and we must discuss them all.
All of it, right? And then you know her from the Instagram. She's always got the tea, and she's ready to mention it all today. Please welcome from the Zen Blonde, I got Miss Lauren.
Hey, thanks for having me here. I need to debrief after processing for 24 hours.
Right? Like, I feel like this will be like our like internal debrief that everyone's going to get welcomed into.
This is actually therapy.
The group chat, yeah. And then it's Miss Taka Shame herself. She's here to probably have some hot takes, but I'm ready for them. Please welcome Miss Kiki.
Yeah, I feel like people think that the talk of shame is about shaming people and canceling them. I need them to understand that the talk of shame is talking about shame and getting it out so we can heal. I think people were surprised about yesterday, so I'm excited to talk about this.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I feel like healing is the most important thing that needs to come from this for everybody involved, you know? And I think my impression leaving yesterday's face-to-face with Erika and some of the victims was that healing is one thing that everybody is ready for and everybody wants to find some sort of resolve. So real quickly to catch everybody up to speed, Kimberly Archie, who is featured in the Housewife and the Hustler documentary, she's really good friends with Kathy Ruigomez, who's the mother of Joe Ruigomez, who many people know as the young man that was involved in an explosion that led to him being a burn victim. He was represented by Girardi Keese, and Girardi Keese allegedly stole, I believe it was more than $10 million from his family. They went to court. They've been fighting to get their money back. The judge they've been able to prove their case that Girardi Keese did take their money. So they're not even alleged victims anymore. It's been proven in court. But so Joe Ruigomez, his mother, came to support her best friend, Kimberly Archie, who was launching Joe's Ice Cream, which is a new ice cream line, a charitable ice cream line. And we were invited to attend, to come out and support, eat lots of ice cream. I even brought Sky out to have some of the doggy ice cream. And they also invited Erika Jayne, and Erika decided to come and sit down face-to-face with a few of the former Girardi Keese clients. With her was Jim Wilkes, who was rumored to be her boyfriend. He's not her boyfriend, but we do now know that he was the man that helped her leave Tom. He had a long-standing friendship with her and Tom, and he helped her leave Tom when she filed for divorce. He was present with her. The LA Times was also there. Matt Hamilton, who's the one that has been breaking all of the stories about Girardi Keese from the LA Times, was also there. Bravo cameras were not present. I don't believe Erika was paid to attend. It looked like she came on her own goodwill. And it looks like they were filming for a forthcoming LA Times documentary, but I think that's still in the early stages. So we'll see, where that comes. But Kiki, what was your initial reaction when you found out Erika Jayne was going to be facing everybody?
I mean, this is the funny thing. Like, Kimberly, I had been traveling so much and Kimberly had told me, but honestly, I was just more worried about Paul's ice cream. And so the whole time I woke up that morning, like excited about ice cream. And I was like, we're going to go have ice cream. And then I went back through the messages and I was like, oh, Erika's gonna be there. Okay. All right. Like, let's do this. I'm actually, and it was so nice because I was actually planning to get there early. I wanted to help Kimberly set up. Like, I was just excited about this launch. And so getting to talk to, Josie Hernandez and some of the people beforehand was really great, because I wanted to know what their feeling was going into this. And, there was some, concern about like whether Erika was going to show up or not, because people have been like, were you guys paid to be? Nobody was paid to be there. We were literally going there. And so, we asked Josie, like, if Erika didn't show up, how would she feel? And she said, I'd be hurt. I would be hurt. And so she was looking forward to this. And I think people need to understand this, is like, they wanted this. They wanted to meet with her face to face.
Yeah, when I found out that Erika was coming, I know that there was a little bit of hesitation, and just like apprehension, right? Nobody knew what was actually going to happen. And I, you never know, because I literally there was this Fill a Plane event, like a pop-up opening at the Beverly Center that I was invited to, that Rinna was supposed to be hosting, and Rinna didn't end up showing up. Did not love that party, by the way. And I'm like, this is why I hate LA, even though I'm born and raised, and this is my home forever. But so, there's always that hesitation of whether or not, someone's actually going to be coming to the event when it's, a celeb, and they're not paid and not obligated. And listen, none of us were obligated to cover anything. Like, we all just kind of came, with our own goodwill to come in and support Kimberly and to support the ice cream. Lauren, what was your reaction when you actually saw her walk through the door?
So I had heard that she might be there prior to the event, but I didn't realize that like the LA Times was going to be there. It seemed like it was really just going to be a more casual thing. And so everyone just went completely silent. And we were in this bar area and everyone just went completely silent. And I was at a complete loss for words. And to be honest with you, I think as fans of Beverly Hills, we all just wanted Erika to stand in solidarity with these victims. I think there's a lot of skepticism around her, but I was just like, I had to say, I felt like a level of respect for her to be able to walk into that room and sit there for like over 2 hours, look everyone in the eye, hear them out. When she left the event, she was taking photos with people's moms and family members. She wasn't running out of the event. I've seen a lot of these people show up at even just meet and greet, or, where they're hosting something, or where they're in and out. She took her time. She walked around. So I felt a fair degree of respect for her. And I was like, maybe this is a true reparation. I got a lot of, I got a lot of messages where people are incredibly skeptical of this whole thing. They think, she got to be a better PR person, or, something to that effect. But I think I'm optimistic given the reactions of the victims after, but I was shocked when she walked in. I was gobsmacked.
Yeah. Even, I think it was Lottery Nancy. She was like, she said that it did not start off as a very, nice conversation. She's like, listen, I had some things to get off my chest and some things that I needed to say. And I think this was a really important moment for them to feel heard and to also feel acknowledged by her. But people also forget, like, with the lawsuits and the legalities, like, it was a very dicey, like, I've always defended her culpability, but I've never defended her likability or some of her behavior on the show. And I know I get a lot of shit for that because people are like, you just defend her blindly, but I was never an Erika Jayne stan. I was skeptical of her at the beginning of all of this as well, but I just started going through the legal documents and talking to lawyers and talking to legal experts and diving into all of this and realized, okay, I don't think she really knew what was going on. Evan, you actually got a quote from her. What was her reaction to everything?
Well, so after her discussion with the victims, she walked into the bar where we were all sitting, and it was it was kind of nice to see how friendly she was. She honestly seemed in really good spirits, and I was just like, hey, Erika, can I grab you for a quote? And at first she was a little hesitant, but then she decided to give me a quote, which I'm so grateful for. But basically she said that she came there with an open heart. She wanted to hear what the victims had to say, and she wanted to figure out a way to move forward with them so that it's like beneficial for all the victims moving forward, which it was just so refreshing to hear her say. But like, I spoke to Erika maybe like a year and a half ago when things were like a little bit more contentious, like in the media landscape about the whole Tom Girardi of it all. And she did say, like, I have empathy, like, please let it be known that I have empathy for these victims. So it was nice to see the empathy in action. And I'm sure that, just like due to probably circumstances that none of us will like understand behind the scenes, like this couldn't have happened a year and a half ago, but finally there was a a time and place and space for this to work. And it was like you were saying, Lauren, like the reaction from all of the people who spoke with Erika, like immediately after, like they seemed like they had it was a really good and productive conversation. And one thing that Kimberly did say to me afterwards, because I grabbed her for a quick interview after the conversation went down, I was like, what do you want people to know about the relationship between Erika and the victims? And she was like, I really want people to know that I never thought she stole money. There were just like questions that I need answered. And it seems like she got them answered yesterday.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot more that's going to come from their conversation. And I can see them all working together and holding the men that did this shit accountable for all the lives that they turned upside down. And it's time, right? And I think, listen, it's all a matter of time. I think if people go back and watch that first season of Beverly Hills when she filed for divorce and they listen to what she was actually open about, they'll feel a different type of way about it now compared to, I think everybody came into that season so skeptical and wanting to believe that she was lying without waiting for everything to kind of play out. But if you watch those episodes back, she was a lot more open and honest than I think people realize. And then it was the season prior, which was the Aspen season, where she's like, I don't give a fuck about anybody else but me. It's like, well, yeah, this is the second season of you taking a beating, from these other women that are constantly questioning you without giving any sort of grace to figure out what was even going on. And with court proceedings, it takes time. There's a whole bunch of discovery that needs to happen in order for anybody to figure out. There was a whole forensic accounting of the books that needed to be done to find out where the money went, whose account it was going in, whose account it was being transferred to, all of that sort of stuff. And the third trophy wife is not getting all the dirty details. Tom's not coming home, cutting up some steak and being like, this one's been fed to you thanks to the orphans and the widows. Like, that's just not what's happening. That's not what's in reality,
Yeah. And I think that was like, it was something really good to hear too. Like, obviously, the first thing I did was like, because I didn't think there would be an apology made because I'm so used to how LA works and how lawyers work and all. And I was like, there's no way. I ran out of that bar so fast. I guess I hit the door into Julian's face and Erika like grabbed him. I didn't even see that happen because I was headed beelining towards Josie. And the first thing I said was like, did you get an apology? And she said, yes. And it was a really nice apology. And I felt so differently about her after that conversation. And we were able to see each other. And that was like just what I wanted to hear.
I feel like people are also a little skeptical of the setting, right? It was at an ice cream launch. It was at a restaurant. But again, as my understanding is like, this was not something that was pre-planned. This was something that like came together within a matter of days. And even LA Times, so Bravo cameras were not there. She did not film this for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She didn't know that any of us were even going to be there. She just thought she was coming to support, Paul's ice cream. And she didn't. She took photos and, really made sure she helped get the word out about the ice cream line. But I feel like the setting, even though it was a little strange considering it's in the middle of, it's in the Valley, it's in Sherman Oaks, it's at the Valley Inn. I think the fact that it was a more casual setting was better than it being like a stuffy interview.
Agreed so much. Because I think that if it had been made a spectacle, people were already acting like it was this huge PR event and it was like anything but that. And if it had been promoted as that, then nobody would have, I think, bought into it. And I also don't think she would have stayed as long as she did. I think they were able to talk for as long as they did because there was that element of just, it felt like privacy.
How long did she talk to them for?
It was definitely over an hour. I mean,
really?
I had the whole meal at the bar. I had 2 drinks.
No, I think it was like about 2 hours. Which is,
really? We were there for 2 hours?
Yeah, I know. And like you were mentioning, Lauren, like it was complete silence. Like it was like we were
silence.
All yes.
Someone in the restaurant
so
kept on coming over. She's like, are we still being quiet? And then there'd be people that strolled in that like had no idea that Erika Jayne was having this like war room, kind of meeting just down the hall, being like, hey, we're on a road trip. Can we sit down and eat? Yeah. But to the point you guys were making before, how amazing of Erika to do it at this ice cream launch where the step and repeat was featured in all of these photos that are going out into the press. And like Paul's ice cream, I know at least yesterday supported No Birthday Left Behind, which I think is, homeless kids making sure they have a birthday. And I think it's maybe going into other charitable organizations, but it's like, okay, well, maybe that's even another way that Erika is lending her platform to, help the people that Tom, affected. So I thought it was great that she did that.
Okay, I know the tea is hot, but I just want to take a quick second to shout out one of my tried and true go-to health hacks. That's Liver Lever by my pals at BioRay Inc. Liver Lever supports the liver to process toxins and decreases frustration and anxiousness. It's like grace in a bottle. It's a revitalizing liver tonic. You'll feel energized, sleep more soundly, and have vibrant skin as you nourish your liver. I've been taking Liver Lever for years now, and it's my go-to, especially since, I love me some coffee or a nice little martini on a Friday night. Or lately in the summer, I've been loving me some Aperol Spritz. It supports and nourishes the liver and adrenals, improves the body's ability to filter toxins, supports healthy metabolism, balanced mood, and healthy skin, and decreases feelings of frustration and skin irritations. Liver Lever ingredients are traditionally used to support the liver's ability to filter toxins, support healthy energy levels, and provide mild detoxification of environmental toxins. Even better, it's gluten-free, alcohol-free, non-GMO, soy-free, dairy-free, vegan, nut-free. Now, these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA, so this product is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. But if you want to show your liver some love today, head on over to bioray.com. That's BIORAY, bioray.com. If you were at my birthday on June 15th at the Bourbon Room, then you got to try some BioRay cocktails. So I highly suggest you head on over to bioray.com and stock up today. All right, back to the tea. Yeah, and again, this wasn't a press event. It's not like the press was invited. It's not like there was heavy coverage of anything. Aside from the LA Times, who my understanding kind of looped into this, later, and I don't even think they had full confidence that she was even going to come. This was like really just a low-key sort of environment that they got an opportunity to kind of talk.
So low-key, in fact, that Erika, I don't know if y'all caught this, she was wearing sneakers.
Yeah, she was wearing sneakers.
Yeah.
Erika Jayne was wearing sneakers. So I feel like that says a lot about the nature of yesterday. I was looking at some of the paparazzi shots, and I saw her little sneaker pop out of her black trousers. I was like, she wore a sneaker?
No, yeah. When she came out of the boardroom and she walked over to us, Evan, I was looking and I was like, she's wearing sneakers. Because I also had my dog, my 5-month-old puppy, and I had my brother who has autism. So as everything was so quiet, I was just in my head being like, I hope we don't have an autistic meltdown right now. I hope we don't have a puppy barking right now. I was like trying to keep them both so like occupied, and they luckily, it went well. Because they even told me at first, like, I don't know if you can bring the dog in if he's gonna bark, and we're filming. And I was like, he never barks. Thank God he didn't. I mean, he doesn't really ever bark, but I was like, thank God he's been good today, because it's always on like the days you don't expect it. But that's the thing.
Like, Erika came in her sneakers, came to give Zach's dog a pat. Meanwhile, was like reapplying her makeup out of a Ziploc bag at the bar. Like this truly was like, in essence, very, very low key.
Yeah. And I feel like everybody had a really good time. The focus was able to still be on the ice cream, aside from, what was going on inside. But like the event seemed to still go really well. And we were able to raise some good money for charity. I took some ice cream home. I did buy some doggy ice cream, but it didn't make it home because he ate it before we even got into the Uber.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact, but I think Kimberly said that with the money they raised yesterday, they were able to give 4 birthdays to 4 children, and, again, even talking, to Nancy, Erika was very much like, she's like, would you help me promote my book? She has a book coming out next month. And Erika was like, of course. And, Josie was like, would you help promote, I'm a realtor. And she's like, of course. Like, she wants to help these women, these people, these victims, however she can. And she's just like, I'm sorry what happened to your family. And I want you to know that. And they said it was authentic. I didn't feel like it was fake. And that to me was like what I just needed to hear from them.
I agree. Yeah. And I think it was time. And I don't love the skepticism of people saying too little, too late. Because you saying too little, too late means that there's a timeline of when we can make these victims whole again. And I don't think that that's true. I think, whenever we can find an opportunity to help people, there's never a timeline on that. And the fact that we're in a place where the lawsuits are finally starting to settle down, they've gotten dismissed. Ronald Richards has been able to, calm his fingers on Twitter from all of his typing. But I just feel like there's an opportunity for them to hopefully bring some sort of justice, because the system is so backwards right now and the California State Bar needs a lot of cleaning up to do, but also, push forward for some positive change, not just for everybody involved right now, but to prevent stuff like this from happening down the line. This is more than a storyline on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and people forget that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some major corruption happening, and there's people here who are still barred, like, that we need to investigate, that, like, and I think all of this is going to come out, and I think Kimberly is going to be she has been a big part, and I don't think people realize how much she's been doing behind the scenes, and when they realize this, they're going to see, like, how much bigger this really is than Erika. I mean, the first thing I heard, Kimberly say was, Erika is easy to blame because she is the face of this whole scenario. Yeah. But like, this is so layered and like so complicated that, lawyers don't even understand some of like how complex it is. And so, she has spent a lot of hours just, writing letters, doing a lot of things to get people to understand. And I think, when people start seeing it, it will be good.
Yeah, because I think it's easy to point fingers at the most visible person, but it seems like there were people within the legal system that either directly benefited or enabled Tom to do what he did.
Yeah, and look at Judge Trisha Bigelow, I call her Gigolo Bigelow, but like Trisha A, she got a whole butt and a beach house from this, and she was a judge.
Yeah, there you go. And then you look at Erika, and it's like, okay, like, well, Tom was obviously a master manipulator. Look at the like literal Ponzi scheme he created within like a law office. Like, so to me, I think we might be directing our anger at the wrong people. Maybe there's some other people we need to be angry at. But if Erika wants to help and make reparations and use her platform to make these people whole, I'm all here for it.
I agree.
It's also really nice that she is, working with these people, however she chooses or can work with them to help them move forward and help them feel whole again as cameras are down for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I mean, I know that cameras have picked up a little bit to cover some of the Mauricio and Kyle stuff, but it's nice that she's not entrenched in the filming of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as she's like trying to figure this out. So hopefully they can sort of like, I don't know, do something productive before the cameras pick up back for like season 14, and just like it doesn't become a whole storyline situation, because I feel like that can probably be really distracting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, I know people think it was performative because there was a camera there for the LA Times. My understanding is she agreed to do this before she even knew the LA Times was coming in. And LA Times just kind of was like, you know what, we're covering this. We know Kimberly, we know this case. Like, let's just see what happens. Let's watch what happens live.
Look, I was behind the scenes watching the sausage get made. And at one point, because, Erika was, they said, oh, she was going to be here at 11:30. And so I'm just sitting there and we're watching, and they were like, oh, should we bring the camera up if we think she's coming? And then they said, the LA Times said, well, do you think if she sees the camera, she might just keep driving? Like,
yeah.
She did not know.
Yeah, no, she did not know. And listen, and she stayed. And she stayed and she sat through the whole conversation, and then she went outside and promoted the ice cream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think
I
is huge.
think like people don't understand that just like where Erika Jayne goes, like a camera follows, like whether it's like a paparazzi or like cell phone footage, like there was no way this was going to happen without some sort of coverage.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm glad that there was coverage, because otherwise people would still be, judging her as somebody that doesn't care about the victims.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think it's been apparent that, like, yes, she maybe could have been a little warmer towards them, or maybe could have made some better decisions with her behavior. But the fact that we're moving forward in a positive direction, I think is good. And I know I was like, hopefully this can bring some healing and some closure. Which I want to clarify, I meant closure to the situation, not closure for the victims, because some people are like, you don't get closure from trauma. I'm like, guys, let's just focus on this is a good thing for everybody, and let's, keep it moving. I did hear an interesting theory yesterday, though, that I think there's still some skepticism about Tom's mental competency. I know that he was evaluated, and they did find that the court found that he is competent to sit trial. What is your take? Do you guys think that he is faking it? Do you think he's exaggerating it? What are your thoughts?
I will say, unfortunately, I think we know what happens when you just become inactive as an elderly person. And I think the longer he sits inactive, he will eventually decline into that state, no matter where he was to begin with. So by the time it even gets, he will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that there is a genuine cognitive decline, but the person that told me that felt that if he was not implicated, he would still be running the law office regardless of that cognitive decline. But I think it's Kiki's point. If he sits there inactive, a small cognitive decline is going to snowball into a bigger cognitive decline.
Yeah.
When I chatted with Erika last year, she told me that sometimes when she speaks to Tom on the phone, he's like very confused and doesn't know who she is. And like, she seemed like she believed that there was a genuine cognitive decline. But then again, there is that manipulator-ish side of Tom. So maybe, I don't know.
No, that's what I heard is some of the skepticism is that maybe he might be playing her as well, which I think the manipulation that he's done on not just, the law firm, but on her individually, if he is continuing that and playing up this Alzheimer and dementia diagnosis, then I just think that's all sorts of sick and twisted.
And who better to play the legal system than Tom?
That's the thing, is it's like he's really smart, I know Daniel Feruzin, who's an attorney here in Los Angeles. He just interviewed Tom Girardi in October 2020, before all the shit hit the fan. He interviewed him for like a full sit-down, one-on-one, 1-hour interview with Tom, and Tom was fine and competent for the most part, because he said that, there were a couple of like little twerks, or maybe he would kind of, reiterate or regurgitate some of the same lines. And that, he definitely seemed to have been getting up there in age, but that for the most part, he was still kind of there. And then all of a sudden, he's got Alzheimer's and dementia by December. So there is a lot of skepticism, but I do agree, Kiki, like somebody who's so sharp and who has to be on top of his game in court, to now be completely inactive and to now be, playing bingo, like it's just, that's not going to keep him sharp.
No, definitely not.
It'll be interesting to see what happens at trial, though, should that move forward, because it's coming up.
Yeah, and there's going to be this will go on for a decade, because it's just going to unravel. The yarn is going to just keep. Yeah, and
I'm sure they're going to start turning on each other. Keith and David Lira, they're all going to start to flip.
Nobody wants to go to, federal prison, even as nice as federal prison may be for, they're like, I want the shortest sentence possible, please.
Yeah. And they're going to fight. At this point, they have no loyalty to each other.
No.
And they have all the legal acumen from having dealt with clients that they can play some pretty interesting games there. So I'm sure
that's probably why. That's probably why it'll last forever. Like you said, Kiki, it's going to be like a decade, like Anna Nicole Smith style.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Anna Nicole Smith.
R.I.P.
A queen.
Well, I'm glad that the victims were able to get some sort of resolve and be able to get to a good place with Erika. Hopefully that continues to move forward. I look forward to seeing what comes of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for this upcoming season. I feel like Erika's finally able to come out of the ashes of getting, burned in all of this situation. Hopefully she'll use the platform that she has to do these people right. Even though it really is not our responsibility, it's the men that stole the money, and now they're being held accountable, and they're in jail or in the process of facing the upcoming trial. That said, everyone should go and support Paul's Ice Cream. Go follow Kimberly Archie. Thank you, Kimberly, for inviting us. And before we wrap, I do want to just get your thoughts on the Vanderpump stuff and the Raquel of it all, because we now see she's out of the mental health facility. TMZ reported that the bill was $200,000. They've reported that she is technically bound by her contract with Bravo to return for another season. I was kind of trying to explain this on YouTube over the weekend, how when you sign these contracts, there's typically an order pickup where they have the option whether or not, whatever the terms of the agreement are, however number of episodes or seasons or whatever, they reserve the right to keep you or to cut you. That's why when housewives leave amicably, it's rare. It's a very rare thing that it's their decision to leave, because the network is the one that ultimately holds the power unless your contract is up and you are up for renegotiation. So it looks like Bravo has the option to exercise their pickup for another season with Raquel, but my understanding is her representation is saying, well, her mental health is a little fragile right now. Give us more money and then her mental health will be a little better. So, I mean, listen, give me a little more money and my mental health will be great, right? And then she's also dropped the name Rachel and is reclaiming... she's dropped the name Raquel and is now reclaiming her birth name, Rachel. Thoughts, reactions to all of it? Evan, we'll start with you because I feel like you're ready.
I know I do. I gotta say, I kind of love the Rachel reclamation. Like, I think that's very smart on her end because the cast really was weaponizing her birth name, Rachel. And I think that's smart. So love that for her. Let's just, really dive into the Rachel of it all. And I kind of don't blame her for like hardballing Bravo and trying to get as much money as she can, because I mean, it's really kind of, I don't know, I guess you can look at it both ways. Like, it's either like lose-lose or win-win. Like, I think that like, no matter what, she's always going to have this like scarlet letter on her. So she's going to sort of like jump back into like the fire pit and open herself up for criticism and all the hate from the Bravo fans. Like, she might as well be making as much money as she can from it. Like, I mean, that's what I would do if I was her.
Then just say, I want more money. Like, just own that you want more. That's my thing. Is it's like, don't play this like mental health thing, because if you wanted to focus on your mental health, you would not be returning to Vanderpump Rules. It's like being in an abusive relationship, breaking up, going to therapy, leaving therapy, and being like, okay, babe, I want to date you again. It's like, it's crazy. It's literal insanity. Like when Jax Taylor is the voice of reason in all of this, and he's saying that it's too toxic for her.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like I kind of wish that like the public narrative, like the reporting was more like, bitch, I want more money. But like, as you said, it's more like my mental health is declining and I feel like more zeros would help it become I don't know. Yes, you're right in that sense. Like, just be like a little bit more transparent about what it is that you want, because if your mental health was still fragile, you would be racking up another $100,000 at the facility.
I feel like Tom and Raquel are so fucking stupid. Like, give us Spencer and Hyde. Give us the modern day Spidey and just own it. Lean into it and make the money. Here's the thing. Spidey was getting all the paychecks back in the day. Ariana's getting all the paychecks right now, but that's not to say that Tom and Raquel couldn't be making their bank right now had they just been playing the game better.
Like,
wait, Zach, it's so funny you say that, because I have been saying that like Tom and Raquel should just Spidey it up, Spidey 2.0. Like, that is what they need to do. Like, yes, I hope they lean into that mentality.
I feel like they could get an Ashley Madison sponsorship for sure.
Ashley Madison totally like slept on that. They fumbled the bag on that one.
I'm like, you would have gotten a lot of visibility for putting any of these people on your ads, and you're already like doing that, so why not? But I feel like I understand wanting more money too, though, because like what she will be subjecting herself to is going to be crazy. But I do think, like you're saying, if they just leaned into it, they would eventually come to a place of like resolution. And I have to say, at least Raquel went away and like tried to do something. Whereas like, I'm like, Tom is just out there tomming it up. So...
But I also look, I actually see this mental health play as like a sign that she has better representation, because like she is basically like, I want more money. I know I'm in this contract, but I can get out of this contract by saying my mental health is fucked up. I just got to like make sure that that is already out in the public. And then if you don't give me the money I want, she's at a good point. But if she drags it out too long, and if they film for too long, then she's going to screw herself, and they're going to be like, well, fine, we're going to do the season without you.
Because I don't think they need her. Because here's the thing: what is she going to bring to the show? She's going to be Namaste Rachel. the cast isn't going to beat her up anymore. They already got their, they got their asses handed to them for beating her up at the reunion. And so now she's just going to come back as Bambi and she's reborn. Like, I don't understand what she's really going to bring to the show if she were to come back in the full-time capacity and how she's going to make her money. What did Bethany say? Pigs eat and hogs get slaughtered. If you try to go for too much, you're not going to get anything in the end.
Yeah.
Not Zach implying Rachel is a hog.
Tell us how you really feel, Zach. Do you guys think the Tom and Lisa fight that's been going all over the internet, that there was security involved, is real? I mean, maybe Evan knows. I don't know.
I actually know nothing about this, but it sounds a little far-fetched to me.
Crazy.
Like I'm skeptical about it, but would I love to see it? Would I love to hear about it on the next season of Vanderpump Rules? Like, absolutely. I just can't imagine it.
It just sounds insane. Like, I was like, this sounds
insane.
Really crazy.
Lisa screaming at Tom. Like, when does Lisa lose her composure and scream expletives at one of her co-stars?
I wish she would, though. I think if I could see Lisa do that, that would be very cathartic for me. So I hope it's real, but I don't know.
You
Felt
think
like-
she sold a story to Radar Online to do what? That's the most we've gotten out of Lisa.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Well, I'm hoping it's a good season of Vanderpump Rules. It looks like it's going to be from what we've seen so far. All these leaks. I like that we're getting leaks, but like we're also not like, I'm still excited to watch the show because we're not really getting like the meat of what these conversations are about or what their interactions are. We're kind of just getting like stuff from afar.
And I wish that, like, someone said this to me last night. I wish Lisa would buy the Abbey. The Abbey is for sale. Can you imagine if she like bought it and then redid it, and then like it would be such a great part of the story.
That's
She
so
would be
smart.
She should like go in with Lance Bass and like get it together. That would be iconic.
Yes.
That
That's
would give
another
the
reality
Abbey
show.
life. Yes. Well, they tried that. What happens at the Abbey, and that bombed.
I feel like Vanderpump could do it better.
I think they
Yeah.
can. I think Lisa can do it better. I think with Lance Bass's backing, it can do really well. Didn't he get married or had like a bachelor party there?
Did he?
Oh.
I think so.
At the Abbey?
I think so.
Maybe. I feel like he's always bopping around WeHo.
Yeah. Well,
Well, he owns like lots of it now. Rockin' Rocco's and Hart.
yeah.
Him and LVP really do need to join forces for that. I hope they're listening to this.
I don't know why they don't.
Yeah, because they're like good friends too.
Yeah, like go into
Lisa,
business
hit us
together.
up. We got you.
We can be your new business consultants.
Yes. Wait, maybe they can name it Zach, Evan, Kiki, and Lauren instead of Tom and Tom. You know?
It's a really catchy name. Like that.
Like a
That
law
really
firm.
sticks.
Ew.
It's like a law firm.
like a law firm. Girardi and Keese.
Oh man! Even though Keese has been like gone for a minute, but he kept it. I guess you can't really just call it Girardi. Girardi,
He's like, why am I in it?
Keese's publicist has probably been pissed through all this.
Isn't
Oh my God.
Keese died?
Oh, no.
Didn't he?
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Keese.
He's like, I'm getting out of this shit. He's like, Tom, I'm out.
He faked his own death.
I wouldn't be surprised with any of the games that these are. Like, come on, the bookkeeper was literally trying to move to the Bahamas. He was selling all of his property, bought a place in the Bahamas. He was like on his way out when they caught him.
Right? Like, or didn't he come back for some stupid reason and gets arrested?
Yeah, he came back to get something from his sister or something. And that's where they found him. And he was like,
Got
oh,
caught
I
up.
wasn't trying to flee the country. I just sold all of my assets and bought a place in the Bahamas.
Very Elizabeth Holmes. Like, what? I just bought a one-way ticket to Mexico right before. I was coming back, you guys.
JK. Oh my God. Kiki, Lauren, Evan, thank you guys so much for coming on the pod today. Kiki, let everybody know where they can follow you and support.
They can find me at The Talk of Shame on Instagram and TikTok.
There you go. The Talk of Shame. Lauren.
You can find me at the Zen Blonde on TikTok and Instagram.
There we go. The Zen Blonde. And Evan Real.
I'm at Evan Real on Instagram. I don't really TikTok, but I'm Real Evan on TikTok. And that is my like second half of the year intention is to be more active on TikTok.
I saw something on Facebook the other day that my friend posted and said something about like, I don't watch TikToks. I watch Instagram reels of TikToks 2 weeks after they're trending, like a grown adult.
Like,
Okay,
I'm trying
boomer.
not to be that person. I'm trying to be cooler. So
All my TikTok feed is like tarot card readers and like Abraham Hicks affirmations. Like I literally, and then all of my feed, my For You feed. And then I just repost anything that I post on Instagram Reels. I'm an Instagram Reel person. I feel like I'm not 21. I don't TikTok as much as I probably should TikTok. But I'm on the tickety talk. All right, guys, give Evan some love, give Lauren some love, give Kiki some love, and stay tuned. We've got lots more updates to come on Vanderpump Rules. We've got lots more updates to come on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kyle and Morgan. Mauricio is posting some thirst traps. Did you guys see the thirst traps? I was like, Mauricio.
he looked
I was
so
like,
good.
Listen, Morgan could never.
Yeah, Mo looks incredible.
Yes.
Call me.
Yeah, if you are single.
Although I will say the slide afterwards when he was like, I was fat, I was like, you were still looking super
he was
tasty.
still a
to me,
snack.
Mo.
Still
Yeah.
fatty. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you guys for listening to Hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me. You can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack all over the internet, or you can follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button and drop a comment below letting me know what you thought of today's episode with Kiki and Lauren and Evan. Be sure to give them some love, give them a follow, and check out Evan's exclusive interview now up on page 6 live from the Valley Inn and Restaurant in Sherman Oaks, everybody. Check out Paul's Ice Cream and support Kimberly Archie. It's a great ice cream line, supports charity. Good cause, so go and show it some love. All right, guys, I will talk to you later this week. I have to go get my hair bleached, so I better get the wine ready because my hair is going to be on fire. All right, talk to you later. Love you, mean it. Bye.